Thank you much. How you all doing? Thank you for the 10 people to say something back to me. How's everybody doing? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Brandy, for the bag. I almost wore it up here, but it was clashing with my suit a little bit. Listen, my name is Carlos Spencer. I'm the administrator of youth services. I was here some time ago. I saw a few faces who knew me from back in the day. I used to work in the family partners. I used to work with directly with you wonderful people. Now I'm with the youth services department. I get a chance to serve, and I do mean serve, some wonderful people who work with our young children and our families on a daily basis. Ms. Kyra Sue, wave your hand back there. That's my operations manager back there. Give her a hand. Give my whole YSD team a hand. And some of what we get this opportunity to do is to run after-school programming. So we do after-school programming in some of community sites and also in some of the school sites as well. So we do that serving our families. One of the sites that we utilize is JFK. I bring that one up in particular because it's a stone's throw from my home. The young folk, y'all tell them what a stone's throw is when you get out of here. They don't know what that is. That was really close to where I grew up from. And so it's near and dear to my heart. And not only that, see, I grew up downtown Buffalo. I grew up in what you would call inner city in the city of Buffalo, which a lot of us did. And myself and my brothers, we had an opportunity to make it out, to make something good of ourselves, to have children, get married, get education, go to college. Some have master's degrees as well. How did we make it out? Because we had the fortunate opportunity to have a wonderful family system. Some people don't have that same opportunity, right? But I know that they can make it out because I grew up right next door to them. So not only does my department and you lovely people, what you do is you give these people an opportunity to have the services that they may not have organically to be able to have to make something of their life. So I appreciate you for that. We're doing that in YSD. We just had a training the other day and we talked about this in our YSD staff as well. So we're dealing with leadership. No matter where you are in whatever department, I know there are different departments, but we're all in some type of leadership and we're all up under CAO as one organization. So some of the things we talked about there, which also translate in here, is you have to be a leader in whatever you're doing, right? And if you think you're not a leader, somebody's actually watching you. My grandfather say, if you think you're leading and nobody's following you, you're just taking a walk. There are two types of leaders, right? Somebody that wasn't nice. Managers try to get people to do things that they don't want to do. Leaders get people to do things that they never believed that they could do. Right? That's the difference. So when you have a good leader, a leader inspires you to do something. Here's a sign. If I hit you, I ain't trying to miss you. A sign of false leadership is when you're trying to use fear tactics or anger or cause people to be afraid of you to follow them. When somebody has to be afraid of you to follow you, that means you aren't inspiring them to lead them to do something. Now, we're both needed, leaders and those who are being led. You are both needed. We are both important. You ever hear of Steve Jobs? Many people have. Talk back to me. Have you heard of him? All right, if you got an iPhone, he owned the Apple company. Some of you have Androids. God bless you. I'll pray for you once you leave here. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You green text message people, I still love you. It's all right. We let you in the group, and then you come in, and then it can't be blue no more because somebody ain't supposed to be in this group. But it's all right. I love you anyway. Many people have heard of Steve Jobs. He ran the Apple company. So anything you see of Apple, an Apple product, he's not with us any longer. He was the owner, the CEO of that company. That was Steve Jobs. Here's the interesting thing that a lot of people don't know about Steve Jobs. He never made any of the products. He never put any of them together. But 5 years before the iPad came out, he could tell you everything about it. See, a lot of people heard about Steve Jobs, but many people didn't hear about Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak was the engineer who technically put the things together so that Apple can actually produce and do the things that it was supposed to do. One day they had an argument. If you saw the movie, you see this. Steve Wozniak was saying, Steve Jobs, what do you do? Every day I hear you're a genius. He said, we got this technology from here. Somebody else brought this up. We stole this from somebody else. What do you do? One of the coldest lines I've ever seen. He said, I play the orchestra. He said, you're the best in your section. You sit right over there and you do everything I tell you to do. But watch this. I've seen an orchestra is full of talented people. But I've never seen an orchestra without an orchestra conductor. Right? Here's one of my sayings. Leaders give talented people something to do. Slow down, Carlos. Leaders give talented people something to do. So the talented people need the leader, but the leader also needs the talented people. Whatever stage you're in, you're necessary. See, here it is. Last thing. Steve Jobs came up with ideas that he could not carry out. But Steve Wozniak carried out ideas that he couldn't think of. That's my time. Y'all be real.